The future of businesses will be dictated by the demands of their customer, not by the shareholders. Organizations must keep their fingers on the pulse of the wants and needs of their globally connected consumer network. Even the largest of organizations face an uncertain future during this period of transition, and the only clues available to management regarding the desires of their customers can only come directly from their customers. Open communications, such as those facilitated via the social media, will be the dominant connection to stakeholders in this era. In the previous business epoch, a regionally based operational presence with a geographic-centric clustered customer base could successfully employ the marketing, manufacturing, and operational techniques and strategies that harken back to the marketplace of the Middle Ages. Not much has changed in the mode of doing business until recently. The advent of the universal connectivity in a globally networked, exponentially growing virtual marketplace is a game changer of gigantic proportions. Bill Gates had raised the clarion call in his book, Business at the Speed of Thought, and more recently when he bluntly informed a large group of assembled business people that we are all only 2 years away from failure. This sentiment is shared by Hermann Gehr, whose research indicates that in 10 years, over 40% of the Fortune 500 companies will no longer be in business under their current operational or ownership configuration. The problem, according to Gehr and others, has been validated by the recent research of several venerable consulting groups, including the Doblin Group, BCG, Peer Insight, Jump, and Stone Yamaisha partners, who suggest it is the inability of most organizations to innovate effectively and in a timely fashion that leads to their eventual demise. This situation in the era of exponential change is intensely magnified by the need for organizations to catch up technologically with their customers and do it in real time. An estimated 93% of marketers use social media for business. Their customers are no longer just citizens of a particular company or country, they are netizens of the globally connected universe. How will these socioeconomic facts impact the business world? How will they impact you and the way you plan on leading and managing your current or future organization? In these exponential times, employees must be exponentially empowered, and as Gehr points out, companies that only improve their performance incrementally will fall behind exponentially. The events and trends chronicled in socioeconomics are facts. The challenge is, will your organization operating the way it is today still exist in 5 years? What's the return on investment in upgrading your organization to a functionally operational concern in a globally integrated, social media-dominated world? Sustainability. How can leaders and managers help prepare their organizations to transition to a real-time, data-driven operation? And how will these trends affect your pursuit of success and sustainability? One technique that has demonstrated its ability to achieve rapid results in the synchronization of organizational facets for a unified operational optimization is the ETK model. In the ETK model, E refers to the emotional, human dimensions that must be understood and addressed prior to initiating any significant plan of organizational change. T represents the technology networking dimensions, and K symbolizes the need to comprehend how knowledge within the organization is deployed to achieve its mandated goals. The ETK concept not only provides the leader with a set of easy-to-apply intellectual tools, but it is also a body of knowledge that provides an organization with the protocols for sustainable success in a new world of interconnected networks and global alliances. In another ITC module entitled Satisfaction, Happiness, and Synchronization, the Foundation for optimal performance and client loyalty, our esteemed colleagues, Dr. M.S. Krishnamurthy and Dr. J.A. Cardenas, presented in detail the background literature on the ETK concept and how to use it to measure and achieve organizational synchronization. Synchronization is defined as the process of linking events and actions so they occur at the same time or in a predetermined sequence. Synchronized organizations are usually successful since they are able to move all their constituent components in concert and in harmony with their external functions and with each other so as to derive maximal synergy within the organization's entirety. Organizations in this era will be characterized by the relationships they form for synergistic leverage in the marketplace. Collaboration, cooperation, and coordination will be the keys to forming successful combinations for expanded business opportunities in this decade. And the need for synchronization among cooperatives of individual organizations will be as important as the need for synchronization within a single organization. Networked operations will become the ultimate competitive advantage within the global economy. The networking of individually owned, operated, and controlled companies or organizations together for a unified mission represents a significant challenge that only the most progressive thinking of organizations will be able to achieve. In addition to the ETK model used for attaining organizational synchronization, a complementary, operationally oriented model, known as the value chain, has been effective at creating successful networked consortiums. Michael Porter's concept of the value chain and its expanded version of the value web model provides a foundation for a clear articulation of how important relationships are in this globally integrated economy. Each segment of the value chain is a depiction of the connectivity of one department to another within an organization, or one organization connected to another joined in a mutually beneficial business relationship designed to benefit all involved. Information systems in general, and the knowledge management resources specifically, provide the networks with a real-time, fully functioning operational nerve center essential to the overall effective management of the chain. The data that flows through the information systems technology and its communications channels provide management with the necessary knowledge to effectively, efficiently, and economically synchronize and control the orchestrated activities of the united value chain or value web. In the era of exponentialism, leaders will need to guide their organizations in the process of internal synchronization to capitalize on external business opportunities. The ETK process is one of the most effectual procedures for preparing an organization for the transition to a networked coalition of exponentially interactive, globally connected, data-driven industrial cooperatives. The ability to manage vast amounts of knowledge that our technology can capture and turn into useful, actionable information provides the raw data needed to undertake a successful ETK implementation. A well-documented strategic plan, the end result of an ETK assessment, will provide a clearly articulated operational map of the information architecture needed to exert control over the various interdependent activities of the network. This is a crucial requirement for an orchestrated approach to network management. Monitoring the network's activities through the lens of a continuously ETK-related prism provides management with the ability to make coordinated adjustments to the ongoing operations as needed. This is also a critical factor in successfully leading a network to the attainment of its mission. These indispensable managerial controls are vital for success. It is akin to a pilot's need for an instrument panel that provides real-time feedback so that he or she can make the necessary in-course corrections to keep a plane on track. In a networked value chain operation, real-time data-driven decisions are required to be made at each level of the coordinated activities and for each stage of the integrated processes. The dynamic nature of the incorporation of the multitude of resources and processes from a wide variety of countries, organizations, groups, divisions, departments, work teams, and individuals create an exponentially increasing number of potential points of operational failure. Leaders and managers in this era will need to be well equipped with the information and communications technologies and the skills to use them to provide a stable infrastructure for an efficient command and control capability. Only well-synchronized organizations working together for a unified goal will be able to capitalize on the power of these suggested, integrated, synergistic methods. Skilled leaders and managers must not confuse access to an effective infrastructure with its ability to accurately direct the critical processes and applications of resources to a set of planned outcomes. Only the complete data capture of printed facts and figures processed into meaningful managerial reports will produce the level of knowledge required to support the managerial tactics required to keep the master plan on track. A value chain or value web operation will be only as effective as the member's organizational capability to act in a concerted effort. Synchronization of the chain's member organizations is not only desirable, but necessary. This synchronized, coordinated capability provides a shared sense of achievement and security for all stakeholders of the combined organizations. A recent study conducted by Dr. M.A. Cardenas, Jr. has produced strong evidence that supports and validates the proposed use of the ETK model as a decision-making tool for leaders and leading organizations in a realm of international business, government, and the sporting industry. The ETK model can be used to better understand the environment in which an organization operates, while at the same time aligning its internal organizational strategies to the demands of the external environment. Leaders are needed who will understand the realities their companies face and who are willing and able to guide their organizations in the transition to these new modern paradigms of operations. Exponentialism will require that businesses and professionals connect with their customers and clients as individuals, not as members of some slice of nebulous statistical demographic. This outcome not only increases the transparency of an organization's operations, but also creates a secure zone for the safe sharing of internal use of commingled data and information. Security is a very important aspect for most organizations. Shared access to data that exposes the essence of the nature of organizational trade secrets or protected intellectual properties with others must be secured. However, synergy requires shared and open access to certain privileged information for effective cooperation. And in this environment, and particularly at this level, synergy trumps security concerns. Public attribution of ownership is a strong deterrent to the unethical or illegal use of others' intellectual properties or trademarks. Obvious proprietary contributions by value chain or web members can be well documented. Any breach of the confidences of shared data would become immediately known and can be dealt with within the parameters of the chain's integrated contracts. It is imperative to maintain the most current security measures available to protect the individual organization's intellectual property from access by undesirable entities, but it is essential that the security plans do not render the potential value-added contributions of the members' data banks impotent. The ability to gain commercial strength through the collective use of networks, shared core capabilities, requires a great deal of trust. But as Ronald Reagan often stated when talking about working partnerships, trust but verify. The needed verifications and security can be accomplished by the use of standard strategic alliance agreements. The convergence of the societal trends chronicled in socialnomics and the large numbers of people joining social networks, creating the largest market in history, requires modern companies to form alliances for mutual benefit. Many pundits have tried to downplay the necessity of being engaged in the realm of social media. However, if there are any doubts about the power that can be gained by an organization running in the cyberspace of social media, just look at some of the monumental changes produced by netizens band together for a concerted social action. We have seen despotic governmental regimes overthrown, Tunisia, Egypt, and Libya. Major companies forced to rescind unpopular policies and practices. Netflix rolling back price hikes, AT&T rebating substantial fees, Microsoft forced to unbundle monopolistic software combinations, and so forth. There has been a significant trend of companies moving to the cyber marketplace over the past many years, and many more are preparing to do so. The expanded market opportunities require an enormous investment in time and resources by individual companies to effectively make the move to this new global operational modality. There has been a multitude of organizations representing all industrial sectors banding together to take advantage of the synergistic opportunities afforded by a value chain cooperative. To get an idea of the many types of organizations in various industries banding together for a unified front in the world of global competition, I'd like to direct you to the web address shown on the screen. In summary, globalization has generated an external environment of intense change and turbulence, and quite often the internal strategies and tactics of an organization do not change or adapt, leaving it poorly synchronized. Knowledge is power, and to slightly alter a great philosopher's famous quote, absolute knowledge is absolutely powerful. Social media has demonstrated its power for organizing and coalescing capability by the many successes it enjoys. Therefore, the management of knowledge in the age of exponential information growth is the precedent to profits, successes, and sustainability. In exponential times, only organizations that are in sync will be in a position to transition effectively to a meaningful presence within the cyber state of social media. I strongly recommend that we combine the applications of the ETK and value chain models to provide an organizational architecture that can be easily melted together for the most expedient path to creation and management of a synergistic network of individual organizations. A properly ETK's synchronized company networking with others in a value chain of cooperation operating in the virtual world marketplace of cyberspace will exponentially increase their opportunities for sustainability. I invite you to take action now.